we are in to draft finally as we see Ari, the first ban here for Team Blender.
So yeah, Ari
Let's
is
get it.
still a pretty powerful pick. Just a generally a really good pick up the Aatrox band away as well is yeah, I mean, like we said before, we don't know a huge amount about Team Blender, but what we do know is that top laner does play a lot of the Aatrox, jungler plays a lot of the Gragas as well. So yeah, and with the Nami being taken away is that is completely
Completely
uh,
understandable. Deny
yeah,
solution,
it's
Nami.
a big Tillynt pickup as well as I think still being
Oh,
very much
true.
part of the meta.
Oh, of course,
Um,
it's EAL. Nami had to show up at least
oh, but
once.
I wasn't even talking EAL. I mean, like,
Well,
yes, of
I mean,
course.
that's why. That's part of the reason why. It's because it's so popular with 4. Well, in X404 now Infiniteam as LeBlanc, the final ban away here for Team Blender,
Hmm.
as the Gragas, which was played quite a lot by
Right.
played a lot by some members of Team Blender, and the Seraphine taking away the instant first pick Senna coming out.
Wow, yeah, so Senna a pretty strong first pick there. There haven't been a lot of ADC bans this time around, which is not what you usually see in well, compared to perhaps professional levels of play where you're seeing like 6 bans towards that ADC role. But Senna opens up a lot for you in terms of just like what you can do in terms of your draft because of the ability of the Senna to go towards the fasting
Oh,
role as
speaking of flexible champions, Ashe.
mm,
This I hate that I see an Ashe and I think immediately, oh, that's an Ashe support. But
but
I think it might very well be. I mean, obviously, quite good into the Senna, right? The long range poke can sort of match Senna's push in the early game, and
Mhm.
Enchanted Crystal Arrow against a target with no mobility is not a fun thing to guard against. Oh no, this is so much lockdown coming out. I think
Wow.
that's gonna be. I mean, it could be a Morgana mid still, but we're probably thinking this is a Rassen Ashe with a Tillynt Morgana to back them up.
Yeah, a bit of a. I honestly, I rate support Ash more than I think I do ADC Ash. I don't think I don't. We'll see what happens, in this one and see how the draft plays out. But I don't know how much damage the AD Ash can really produce. And because when you go for that like support build, you're building the mandate and the man immune, you get so an unbelievable amount of ability haste, and um that allows for that ultimate to just be sent on like a 20-second cooldown. It's absolutely ridiculous. As we see here, the third ADC of the draft so far being locked in. It's going to be the Misfortune. So that's a Misfortune Senna bot lane,
I mean,
presumably.
we saw how well Play Massive played the champion last time. Could we don't
Hmm.
know? Well, I imagine it's obviously going to probably be Misfortune farming here. Farming center could
Yeah.
still be a thing. Misfortune support, who on earth knows? But the Amumu lock in here, another champion which could go into the bot lane, but you expect to go
Uh,
into the jungle. Interesting though against the Morgana.
I was going to say, you've just picked an Amumu against the Black Shield, which is a sort of notorious for its ability to counter essentially everything that Amumu tries to do. So, um, yeah, you have picked it into that deficit, but obviously that's not. She can only Black Shield that one person. That doesn't mean that Amumu is completely useless. As now the Kayn is going to be locked in on the other side.
Wow.
So that one, again, that's a very interesting pick as well because obviously when I'm seeing Senna, Misfortune, and Amumu, there's still to me it still seems to be open as to which form you go for, right?
Hmm.
Because you kind of want to be going towards blue Kayn if you to assassinate those 2 ADs down in the bot lane, but then you are going to struggle against Amumu, whereas red Kayn would do a lot better. As we see now, the second round of bans coming through, Victor banned away once again, just like the game before it.
I do want to quickly
uh,
mention that I think part of the reason why Kane is picked up here is because, as we were talking about in the previous game with Rob, checking my names with Rob, Kane does obviously need to get that form, need some time in the early game to really be proactive. And Amumu, known as a jungler who's not that proactive in the early game themselves. So Kane having this ability can even maybe invade the Amumu, steal away those Raptors, steal away those AoE clamps, which Amumu really needs to clear fast. So I can see the value of this Kane, especially with the squishier picks of Misfortune and Senna. A lot of work could be done in the bot lane. And with some of these control mages removed, Kane's going to have a bit of an easier time in these fights.
mhm. Yeah, no, I agree with that one as the last ban away by IT is going to be the Vel'Koz. So a lot of bans once again towards the mid lane. We'll see what this ban is going to be from Team Blender. I mean, with the Lissandra being banned away, you would expect. Well, Ari has already been banned, so LeBlanc is the other
Maybe
thing that
LeBlanc's already been banned as well.
and
Maybe
LeBlanc's
it's
already
something
been banned as
about.
well.
Maybe it's some playmaking mid laner. I'm trying to think. Could it be something like the Akali here, perhaps?
Could be Akali. Yeah, could be some sort of pickup there. I mean, it would be
Something
good to
like
go for some sort of playmaker
Wind
when you have a
Brothers.
Mumu there. We'll have to see what that one is. As now, Infiniteam are going to have to pick up this mid or top laner blind. There's still
I mean,
plenty open though.
Ornn exists. It could just be a
Ornn
blind Ornn
exists.
top lane. That's what we've seen on Red for quite a
Gangplank
lot
too,
today.
actually.
But instead, it's going to be a
Oh,
Swain. Ooh,
okay.
interesting. I look at the Swain, and I don't particularly like it. Just because you're playing against the Senna and the Misfortune. So, okay. So, for those who don't know about Swain, it's been a while since we've casted the EAL, but it's been a while. But Swain, really good at getting into, like, staying in melee range of people and continuously dealing damage to people who can't kite away from him. But you're up against the Senna, you're up against the Misfortune, you're up against the Amumu. That draining is going to be much more difficult to reach. There's so many slows. You don't have that much opportunity to apply your own Rylai's, especially against someone like an Olaf who will out-sustain you in these fights. So I think Swain might struggle a little bit in this comp.
Yeah, and that is a Olaf top, I am presuming. That makes the most sense to me. Something that has become more and more prevalent with the Olaf changes running with the Ignite and the Ghost and just running opponents down. Orianna going to be locked in as well. I like that quite a lot. Pairs really well with the Amumu and the Olaf. Both of them are going to be wanting to charge forwards. You put your orb on either of them, and you give them the movement speed buff. There's a bit of damage. It's a lot of shielding, and of course you can then use that ultimate for a huge amount of CC and damage on top of that. We'll see what the response is. There, Olaf can be
Corki.
okay.
That's
So
boring.
yeah, that's boring. It's a Swain top then, presumably.
That's interesting, at least. Actually, I think it's pretty good into the Olaf, so I kind of like the Swain top here. But yeah, the Corki, a little bit boring. A little bit of it is what it is. So, looking at these two comps, right? I look at the Team Blender comp. They do have a bit of a team fight blender, right? They have the Amumu ult, they have the Misfortune ult, a classic combination, topped up with a little bit of a shockwave on top, perhaps, perchance. Can do a lot of work in these team fights. But I've I've been watching 3 other games of EAL, and every single time we've looked at the draft, we've been, wow, this team has the better team fight. They should have an easier time of it. They're gonna win the game. And they just haven't. So, as much as my logical brain says that I favor Team Blender's draft here, I think it's going to be a win for Infiniteam, if only because
Okay.
I've seen the better draft not necessarily take the dub a couple of times in a row.
Yeah, I think Team Blenders is definitely a lot more straightforward, because it is just kind of run at enemy and press ultimates when when there are a lot of them there. But on the other side, there's definitely potential for some more kind of individual there's a little bit more spice there. The Kayn, I think. I mean, we saw in was it the first game or the second game today? Kayn getting quite fed quite early and being a bit of a monster. And I think like the Kayn as a champion can always have that kind of presence and have that kind of threat. Swain as well, very very good and pretty decent in the kind of counter engage. But yeah, I think I don't know. It's a difficult one to call. I think IT are going to have to be very careful of the wombo combo, but I think it is also a mistake to think that just because you have a wombo combo, that means you are going to instantly win the game, because there are a lot more factors, there, and you may not even get the kind of opportunities. IT can very easily try and deny those kind of big wombo combo team fights from you by beating you in the lane, or by denying you kind of entrances into these objectives, picking someone off so you can't really have a favorable fight. There's a lot that you can do to counteract those kind of compositions. We'll see if they're able to do that once we actually get into game.
Yep, it's going to be interesting to see. But before we head into game, we're going to be throwing it to just a little bit of a quick break while we wait for spectators to lay the ever-present curse Of course, we no longer have any analyst programs supporting us financially, so we can't just talk about that for ages.
Oof.
But still, we're gonna be having a look at the draft. We're gonna be going into game, watching the final game of the day. Team Blender up against Infiniteam. We'll catch you on the other side. And here we are, everyone joining us in the audience for the final game of the night. We have Team Blender on blue side coming up against Infiniteam on red, and it looks like Infiniteam might want to get some action going early on.
Yeah, potentially they're making their way down towards that bot lane. They could look to head into the bushes, or they're going for the Tri-Rush, which Rescue Cat is currently occupying. So
the fruit lands, the cleanse immediately, the flash forwards, the pullback misses. Rescue Cat hops, skips, and jumps away with her life, but forcing out the cleanse from the I don't know what to call her, the AP carry.
I was going to say there's a lot of very weird things going on in terms of choices here. We've got Ghost on Terraforming's Orianna, which is not something you often see. I do believe NothingToSee and Schego have actually. No, maybe.
No.
Okay.
I think they're just.
I'm being stupid, but
we also don't see a Ghost on NothingToSee, which is something I'd expect to see on this one.
Right, and then we have a Doran's Ring on Rescue Cat. It is obviously fasting center, but then it's also that
Orange shield start on Rassen. What is going on this game? Honestly, this is the only game 4 I would expect to see. We've had a crazy set of games already today. Needed a little bit something spicy to spice it up.
Yeah, it's a lot of odd things. The area as well on Dingo. I mean, to be fair, when you look at that, you see Airy, you see Comet, Rescue Cat as well going for the ring, meaning going for like those E's as the big source of damage. I think Rassen picking up the shield is going to have a lot nicer of a time, although not a perfect time, because that sort of double ADC of the Senna and Misfortune is very, very annoying. Has a lot of poke from a lot of range.
I'm really interested to see what Dingo chooses to opt for here with this build, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, he's not going to opt for much because he keeps getting hit by those roots. Third one in a row, Tilly has landed like a heat-seeking missile. Rassen and Tilly hit level 2 first, forcing Dingo, forcing Rescue Cat away. She doesn't miss!
Oh.
Every single one lands! And Dingo and Rescue Cat taking the worst end of the trade here. Morgana and Ashe, such an impressive lane.
Yeah, it certainly is. I was talking about the poke of Senna and Misfortune, but
Rassen rooted up as the jungler comes to the gank. Angel of Zera, flash heal, force the extra. Q is there for the Amumu. Rassen not able to walk it up. First blood over to Dingo.
Wow, yeah, really, really nice gank there from Angel of Zera. Nice. Yeah, was there in time, hit that Q really nicely, and then, yeah, not all the summoner spells in the world are going to save the fact that Amumu has those 2 bandage tosses instead of the 1 after that change that was quite a while ago now, as Terraforming doing what a lot of Oriannas can do with this champion, which is really just kind of bully people. The fact that you can press that Q to change where your orb is.
Oh wow, Schego really eating it here. Also,
yeah.
Mitch, no, the miss smite. The blue goes over to Angel of Zera. It is worth noting Mitch did get a nice invade on the top side, while obviously Amumu was looking for that gank on the bot side, but not smiting that blue. That could have been massive, actually. Level 4 probably would have been gained by Kayn to level 3 from Amumu. You could probably look for something, but missed smite there means it's going to be one very sad Kayn.
Yeah, and Kayn obviously does want to farm. It is a pretty fast farmer, kind of wants to scale up, but is also having to balance that with the fact that they're trying to get that essence in order to change form. It is the Conqueror rather than the first strike, I think, is usually picked up for the blue Kayn. So instead it is going to be that red Kayn, presumably, as now Tia has been picked up by Rescue Cat. So. But then that still doesn't tell me anything, because that could easily be Muramana, or that, with the Doran's Ring, that could be...
Could be Muramana into the Leandries. There's also the question of what Senna chooses to go for. With that longsword, probably going to not opt for the Locket Senna build, unfortunately. Also,
It's
Yeah.
now, yeah, no, we'll see. It could be just that Umbral Blade. It's
Nice.
now Mitch.
hook.
Oh, nice.
The W will not land. Mitch forced the flash away, but the speed up is here. E goes wide, but Wizzurd has the ghost. This is one dead Kayn, and will they find another in the form of Nothing to See? Looks like they will. Wizzurd does a magic trick and sets their health bar to 0.
I mean, the double ghost coming online there, and then, yeah, Angel of Zera making full use of the fact that they have the 2 bandage tosses. You know, it hits one over the wall onto Mitch, and then the other on Nothing to See. Really, really nice there. So suddenly, you know, 100% kill participation on that Amumu. 3 kills already under their belt. I mean, that's just really, really good to see for TB. Is looking for even more, but Schego is just going to be able to walk away from that one. But yeah, so far a really good showing from Team Blender. I mean, I'm liking what they are coming out with here. Is yeah, the bot lane of IT are having to back as well, and only really back into what what Dingo backed into previously. So everyone in pretty much every lane seems behind, and now Schego.
Flash both ways. Angel forcing out the flash in the mid lane, but Amumu probably won't be able to snivel as hard without that flash of their own, especially because Schego was able to dodge away from that shockwave. Very safe, didn't eat too much damage.
Yeah, what I'd love to see now is Amumu go back into the jungle, farm, wait for the sort of flash to come up cooldown, and wait till that level 6 comes online, at which point you are really powerful.
No.
Speaking of level 6.
Wizzurd with these axes, so very strong. Nothing to See, flash away, no ghost available. Pullback is actually here for Nothing to See, but it's not going to be enough. Wizzurd picks up the solo kill. Olaf Gaming, face rush won't save you.
Yeah, a little bit disrespectful there from Nothing to See, although having said that, they kind of have to be there because that's where the wave is, but they were down, they were down ultimates, they were down, they're down 20 CS, over 20 CS now already, which is really not, not good to see at all if you are Infiniteam. Is now Angel of Zera is going to just back, was spotted on those wards, so couldn't get that cheeky little brush gank, and now Kayn actually making his way down. He's looking for something as well, but all of the summoners are up right now for TB, so that would be quite difficult.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Rassen just trading back a little bit, but obviously going to have a little bit less damage. Tilly, that's the first binding I've seen go wide. Nice try, nice try, friend. You hit the rest. You're allowed to miss 1 or 2. But Terraforming now in a little bit of danger. Schego is here for the gank. Don't really have the capacity to respond at the moment. Dingo getting poked out once again, but yeah, nice try on the gank there, Mitch, but Corki forced under their turret, cannot respond. Terraforming with the flash, very safe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Production, stop trying to talk with the casters. Let's do our thing. Look, it's like
it's
Rescue chat is yeah, it does use the phase 4. Is probably going to go for that Morgana, as we said. Once that's built, it could go anywhere at all.
So,
Misfortune support, something I'm quite used to seeing. A bit of a throwback to Quarters, I think it was, 2016 Worlds. Picked specifically as a counter pick into Zera, but obviously a lot more Leandri's MFs have been picked up. I'll be interested. Maybe it's even going to be a what do you call it? The other one. As actually there's an engage in the mid lane, so I can't remember that item's name. Schego forced away, topped very low in this tray, but not quite taken out. And the item I meant was Imperial Mandate. Imperial Mandate's E max Misfortune could be quite interesting, but I'm just curious to see what
there's potential that we got slightly baited out by the fact that it was in the support sort of slot and picked up the Doran's Ring first. It could well be just the case of like a Twitch would do, in that they pick up the Doran's Ring just for the mana and the fact that they have some AP scaling in the early game, but then they just go fully towards the AD route. Or it could still be some sort of pickup towards Leandri's or after the Morgana or an Imperial Mandate, something along those lines. There's a lot available there for Rescue Cat in terms of those builds.
All we can do is wait and see, because honestly, been a couple of kills this game, but I feel like it's sort of entered into a bit of a lull state, right? Maybe we'll see Wizzurd run down Nothing to See once or twice, but I don't necessarily think there's obviously Senna and Misfortune have the most like pressure in lane, especially against something like an Ashe. They will be able to obviously keep pushing that turret, but I don't expect to see many kills. But we might see a fight around this dragon. Infernal Drake, neither team really gone for it, but already a 2,000 gold lead for Team Blender. Definitely playing well this game as they look for the engage onto Schego. Does get ulted up. Second Q is there, assassinated by the Amumu.
Man, Angel of Zera is making Amumu look like so unbelievably unfair, and I think it's fair enough. We have seen a bit of Amumu in pro play actually come back, actually more as a support with Kalista pairing, but still I think very strong. I think Amumu's a little bit underrated in terms of the amount of CC and the really good ganks that they have, and Angel of Zera is taking good advantage of that. And I think the problem right now I'm seeing for Infiniteam, you look on the other side, you look at what Mitch has managed to get done on this Kayn, and they farmed very well, but you know, there's not been a lot of interaction with any players.
No form,
so
really.
Yeah, I don't think you're anywhere near form right now, as that's a ghost forwards.
You remember when they said you might see NothingToSee get run down in this top lane? Does actually get run down, almost picks up the kill onto Wizzurd, has to use the ignite, but Wizzurd able to run away from that turret. Maybe if that either connected, but still, it does mean on the opposite side of the map that I want to call them 4-4. No, Infiniteam. God, I can't do names. Infiniteam pick up the first Drake of the game.
Yes.
Get this Infernal in their back pocket. It does look like Angel Zera trying to contest up towards the top side, get the vision. Actually looking for a gank to Schego. Mitch is in the area. Level advantage to follow Amumu. No Curse of the Sad Mummy though means you can't really continue.
Yeah, and so I think at the moment that it's a nice Drake pick up, as we do just go into a pause for just a second. As I get to talk about how you look at the gold lead, and for 11 minutes being over 3,000 gold ahead is quite significant, shall we say. And you can see there actually, as we were panning over the bot lane, why that is. You saw there towards the top lane as well, Wizzurd, after getting that kill, takes 2 plates. That's another, that's a plate or 2 down towards the bot lane as well.
Pretty even advantage all across the board, actually. 1.5k in the top lane in favor of Wizzurd, 1k in the jungle in favor of Mumu.
But look at Dingo and Rassen. Rassen's been farming, and the gold is dead even.
Ooh.
That is horrible.
How does that even happen? That's Senna, just delete that champion from the game, man. That's this. Look, she's got a kill. She's got 2 plates. That's not enough to give you that much. Equals 72 farm. That's actually disgusting. I hate that. I'm so
ridiculous. The other thing to point out, both Dingo and Rescue Cat have both gone towards Dirks. So it does look like Rescue Cat is just going towards this the classic Eclipse Morgana build that you see on a lot of misfortunes, and Dingo is perhaps going towards the Umbra I think, but in general, Serrated Dirk is such a powerful item early, so the fact that it's on both of them is that I just feel so bad for Tillynt and Rassen. That is something that's very difficult to deal with.
I was like, maybe the reason why Dingo's got so much gold is because they've been doing this. Nope, they've only got 400 gold. I mean, obviously that is some gold. As we are back into the game, M2 Dingo's going to stay on pace with Rassen for quite a while.
Oh, that was before the second plate went down, actually. So.
Oh yeah, sorry. Let me double check now. Oh, it's now ahead in farm, despite only having a single kill. And 2 plates.
Wow, unbelievable. That's a Trinity Force as well for Wizzurd up in the top lane as we do the classic little freeze.
The reverb.
Yeah, so it's...
11:34 minutes, 11:35 seconds into the game. 6 kills. It doesn't... funny thing is, it didn't really feel like Team Blender have been just like, I don't know, styling and everyone. They're just doing everything right, it feels like. Doing the right thing. Yeah. Obviously, maybe that's just because Wizzurd in the top lane running at someone isn't the most stylish thing. You just kind of kill them. But still, really nicely done from everybody on Team Blender.
Yeah, I agree.
Get sniped by the Ashe arrow, cast the curse, terraforming, going to be sent into the dirt, taken out by Mitch, and that's some champion interaction for you. Next, the Amumu choking to try their luck, but it's a 2v1 situation. Does have the cast, but Mitch not tanking up the turret. Schego looking for more, flashing away from the rocket this time. NothingToSee doesn't fall in the top lane. But yeah, unlucky there for Angel Zera. Really hoping that Mitch was tanking up a couple of turret shots, but still manages to walk away.
Yeah, unlucky for both them and Terraform actually, because I think the ult from the Orianna very, very nearly went through, and if it had, that definitely would have been a dead Mitch. But as it is, 1-0 in favor of Infiniteam. That's great. That also will have put Kayn very
another
far
binding,
towards.
by the way.
Those bindings have been yeah, pretty deadly, pretty nasty to see there. But yeah, the fact that Kayn picked up that kill and then scrapped with Angel of Zera for such a long time will have helped them towards that form. Has now picked up the Gore Drinker. I'm
Ooh, I don't know if we'll get red
waiting
chain.
with bated breath to see if... Yeah, the problem is obviously you got the
Never
kill on
mind.
the... Oh, no, there it
is.
is. Okay, so... Yeah, I mean, all that is the buffs that Kayn got way, way back, where I think he got buffs to his essence late on. So it means that it doesn't take a lot once you've reached the sort of post-12-minute mark in order to pick up that form. So Kayn finally is an actual champion. That's great. But you are still down a fair amount of gold. It's not quite the 3k that we saw before, but it's still fairly significant, and I think you have some way of you have to figure out some way of coming back to the game.
Angel of Zera up in the top lane. There is a demon form here for nothing to see. Not gonna have quite enough survivability though. Still gonna get taken out. Wizzurd 4-0-1. Unfortunately, I would say, what are you gonna do about the Olaf? Oh, just CC him. But that's not how the champion works. Especially not with the new changes. You just keep going as long as he got down once. So it's gonna be a real pain in this game.
So unless, well, I'm presuming that whenever anyone has seen an Olaf top in their games, it's in solo queue, and therefore the Olaf has gone 0-5. But in this case, the Olaf is incredibly far ahead. At which point, as Pitch just backs off there, this is where the champion really comes online, because they have, you know, Wizzurd picks up Trinity Force, which means absolutely devastating in a side lane. Ooh, nice dodge from Schego.
Unlucky there on Terraforming. Obviously, with that dash, with that Valkyrie away, Schego does have a lot of safety versus this Orianna, but it still will result in a Herald placed in mid lane. Corki can clearly say Tillynt is here. Rescue Cat does get knocked up. Mitch diving into the middle of 3, diving inside Rescue Cat, but it's a 3v4 at the moment. Can an Ashe arrow save this fight? Swain is in the area, nothing to see. Not quite in time. Mitch will fall.
Yeah, that was a shame. I think Mitch thought that the binding on the way out of his ultimate was going to save him, but that got burnt pretty quickly, and then Angel of Zera immediately pops that ultimate, stuns Mitch up, and there's the kill there. And this is what I was talking about. You can't 1v1 this guy because he will just run you down and go unstoppable and be unkillable. But if you leave him on the side lane, picking up Trinity Force means that he will shred towers so unbelievably fast. And when you're this far ahead as an Olaf, you really are absolutely in your comfort zone. You can do nearly anything. And it's going to be the really sort of big factor that Infiniteam are going to have to deal with and somehow shut down if they want to get fully back into this game. They may be able to pick up this Drake, or though actually Angel Zera is in the area. We'll see which team pulls the trigger on that first. Although, yeah, it's you know, 16 minutes in and the second Drake hasn't gone down, so there's not been a lot of Drake prio, which means that whoever takes it, the soul as an objective is going to be quite far away.
25 minutes, but it does look like I keep looking for it. Infiniteam are able to pick up the Drake here. I don't think Amumu is not going to be in time to contest. That is 2 Drakes, and it is going to be an Ocean Soul, which is quite nice for something like this Swain, like this Kayn as well. Sorry, Rast. Both those champions really appreciate it if they can get to melee range. Also good for kiting back someone like Wizzurd. But we're going to have to see if they can continue to pick up these Drakes, especially now that they're 4,000 gold in the hole, as well as 7 kills. Obviously, the Drakes do provide a little bit of a bonus, but when you're against something like a fasting Senna who's getting so much value outside of the gold, it becomes really difficult. Tilly black shields themselves too late. This is not a good scenario. Walks in front of the hook, dies for Rassen, sins, knows it's his fault, but Schego is in the area. Ashe ult goes wide, but Dingo dies anyway. It is a 1-for-1 in the end, especially with Terraforming walking down. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get too much in the cross map. Rassen in a little bit of danger. Does connect with that chain. Damage is there. Teleport now though coming through from NothingToSee. Does not have the flash yet. Damage coming down, not enough, but does force the disengage. Can you look for the flash E onto anyone? The ult doesn't do enough, but the double knock up the E. That's at least one kill. It's going to be a second one. Overcommit on the bot side, but the turret picks up two. Mitch in a bit of danger here, but actually the teleport results in only a 2-for-2 play. Overcommittal by both Schego and NothingToSee means Terraforming gets a lot of gold in that fight.
Yeah, that was really messy from both teams there. I'm not entirely sure, actually, with that tower going down solely to Wizzurd in the top lane, I'd say that probably favored Team Blender once again. But yeah, quite scrappy and kind of back and forth play there, and an overdive. I think perhaps Infiniteam were realizing that that was their one chance. They know they're behind. They really want to go for this, and they see the advantage. But dying under tower like that wasn't helping their cause very much, as we see TP towards the mid lane as well from Schego to save that tower. And they are, over 5k in the hole now, which it's not a good stat to be staring down, especially when you don't necessarily outscale. You have Corki, but on the other side, the Senna is there. Olaf's going to continue to be an absolute menace, and you are staring down a team that can team fight extremely well with these giant ultimate abilities.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to say that there's no way that the side of Infiniteam got it out.
Yeah.
Infiniteam can't play these fights, right? Because we have seen it time and time again today with teams like 99 Woodcutting, with teams like Lost Nation, heck, even with PEL in game 1. The teams with maybe quote-unquote less good team fighting have just scaled up, especially with picks like this Corki, like this Kayn, as the Ashe arrow does land onto the Senna. That's the sort of thing you need to get back into the game. Schego picks up that kill, nicely done by Rassen. But yeah, things like that, these X factor qualities can get you back into the game. Oh,
Rassen has to
no,
be really careful here. Oh, yeah, that's a misstep. You're just dead.
Kraken Slayer, not going to be doing enough.
No, it really isn't. And obviously your slows get completely mitigated by the Olaf ult. Yeah, so a really nice Ashe arrow from Rassen to begin that one, but
pulls in the chain, the ult
down.
goes down, flash away from Schego means they will survive, but you still force the flash. No ult for Wizzurd now, though. This will be a stun on the turret. This will be one answer back, but the rest. Oh wait, I say answer back. Tilly does have the stopwatch, able to survive there. Too close for comfort, if you ask me. But they do manage to trick one back on the bot side. However, it does allow Team Blender to be able to pick up that mid lane turret.
Yes, it does. Although on the other side, Swain is getting some free farm up towards top lane, can look to maybe threaten that tower down as Tillynt.
By the way, gets hit
that
by
was
a hook.
I mean,
yeah,
a nice catch there.
Dingo getting engaged on him. Mitch maybe being a little bit too confident, is getting a lot of damage down, goes inside. Angel is there, will get a lot of healing. Nice arrow onto the Amumu, dives into the middle of 3. Look, Rassen's in the area, so is Schego. How much can you do? Mitch still alive, healing on this champion is nuts. Terraforming, trying to run away. They do make it out, but the luckiest rescue cat does not end up rescued. That's another shutdown. 3 dead already. Schego gets the triple kill, and that's a lot of gold in their back pockets. Gold lead down to 3,500.
Wow, that certainly is a lot of gold. As we do go into yet another pause. But yeah, we can talk about that fight. That was quite crazy. Again, maybe a bit of an overstep there from Team Blender. I think maybe they thought that they could take control of that bot side jungle, maybe threaten that bot tower, but with Wizzurd going down and then your members aren't like massively healthy, etc. Yeah, you just end up getting caught out. Really nice rotation from the whole team, pretty much, other than NothingToSee of Infiniteam. And
how disgusting is Kayn?
Kayn,
that guy lived
Kayn
for about 3 years longer than he really should have in that fight. I thought he was trolling going in on Angel Zera, but obviously Schego, Rassen there to support the Ashe arrow as well. But man, that guy lived so long.
Yeah, I think the benefit there as well is that obviously until then you hadn't, that the healing wasn't a problem, and so you hadn't built, I don't think any of them had built any kind of healing reduction, and so you can kind of take advantage of the fact that you haven't been doing too much before in order to do a lot at that particular point. I do believe though, at this point, having seen that one, Angel Zera has gone towards that Bramble Vest.
So
although I mean that is essentially it, but yeah, after that fight, that you can't really blame them for picking that one up.
I have someone to say. 3.5 gold lead, 3.6k ahead, right?
Mhm.
I'd like you to have a quick peek at the gold difference between Swain and Olaf.
Oh.
3.6k gold. It's actually remarkably even fight. Obviously, that's like after a couple of deaths, a lot of shutdowns onto Corki, but that's a lot of gold just not present in the fight because Wizzurd was up towards that top side. I'm not too sure actually where I was, but wasn't in that fight certainly. And that means when you've got a really fed Corki in this mid lane, can look to take that fight. Rassen as well with the ult. Hell, even Mitch with the transform, it's some extra gold value. Can look to make that play happen, and especially when Amumu doesn't have ult.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, picking up that triple kill, Schego does now have 1.3k gold advantage over Terraforming, and that is a lot. And having hit those 2 item points as well, the Man Immune with the Luden's Echo, that's gonna be a lot of damage. Hasn't based either, I think. So yeah, it's sitting on 1.5k gold. So yeah, that's really scary to think about. And obviously we talked about this in the last game, but Corki's Corki's packages in these late game fights are they're just something that they're this clutch factor that you have to look out for, and can be such a devastating game changer in these fights. But it's definitely, it's not as if Team Blender are out of the fight just yet. They still have the gold advantage. They still have an incredibly fed Olaf who hasn't actually joined the team yet, really. So I want to see how good of a fight Infiniteam put up if the Olaf joins the rest of the team for a big sort of objective fight. Whether they can pull a team fight win out of that one is still left to be seen. But yeah, some promising stuff. It looks like Infiniteam are definitely not out of the fight yet.
Yeah, honestly. Okay, so now we've got a couple of minutes since the pause.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've earned we've earned our we've made a lot of good points here. I think we've made we talked about win conditions.
Don't know about me, but
oh, last thing to mention. Dragon fight 27. Well, dragon in 27 seconds. That's actually pretty big. I should have mentioned that before.
That is a big thing.
There is no Mitch, obviously. The only one alive is Wizzurd, and I think top lane, not particularly known as a lane close to dragon. Obviously, could be able to run there, but you're running in 1 versus 4. Really difficult to do, even if you're a fed Olaf. So we'll probably see this dragon picked up by the side of Infiniteam, and that is Ocean Soul point over to them.
Yeah,
and that's
you were complaining about the healing. If it's Ocean Soul for the side of Infiniteam, that would be absolutely crazy. That is a game changer, absolutely, and I agree with you. I think it's looking fairly likely that they are going to be able to pick up that Drake, put themselves on Soul Point, which is definitely going to, so it's going to have to be something to look out for. And it's always the benefit. I think it's why a lot of times people will go, oh, well, we have like two Drakes, and I think people sometimes like are like, yeah, but it doesn't really matter. But like, it does matter. You can see there. The fact that you have those 2 Drakes is such. Firstly, it's a very nice buffer. Yeah, that's lovely.
Pew 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 pew.
Pew pew pew.
Brilliant. Yeah, we're gonna. Wow, it's so much calmer over here. We don't. I think Could we have a look at the wave top lane, please? Yeah, there is actually a pretty significant wave. So even if Wizzurd wanted to go contest this Drake, they are going to give up maybe even the top turret. So I think
they're just going to go pick up that wave. Yeah, they're not even trying. It's now. Yeah, Shego's picked up that. The blue buff is now just basing. Rassen's going to raise this bot tower. No, he's going to rotate towards Drake. Okay.
Yeah, Wizzurd staying up towards top side. Mid lane is pushing in. Wizzurd now rotating down, but I think Ashe with the Kraken Slayer probably will be able to take this fast enough, as well as the damage from Swain. And Morgana actually does a surprising amount of 2 dragons because she constantly resets her black pool. So yeah, this dragon, no contest here. But it does mean that the rest of Team Blender are going to try and shred down this Baron.
There's no vision on it.
They have no way of knowing. Do they suspect?
It's There's 2 ADs as well, and an Olaf. It's going really fast.
Yeah, that's just immediately gone.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't know.
Amazing. Really nice play there. I mean, Infiniteam lacking. Like
they are going to lose on the bot side turret here, but getting a Baron, getting 1.5k more gold at 22 minutes is a pretty good consolation prize, Push the gold lead back up to 4k, another hurdle for IT to walk over, but Rescue Cat maybe gonna need some rescuing here. Mitch in the area. Ashe gonna lit the Olaf, the 9-head play, and the root as well. Obviously, Olaf does have the Ragnarok, but man, I thought Rassen had trolled that Ashe arrow, but actually made the biggest play of his life. That's one less Baron buff that Infiniteam have to deal with.
Yeah, that's where you just pretend that was deliberate and you didn't think the Rescue Cat was going to continue to walk down towards the tower.
Of course.
But yeah, a really nice one there. A nice pickoff, and I think that's now the second time that we've seen an example of the Ashe arrow coming into play and being a big factor in being able to get these picks, which is exactly what you want to do against a comp like the Team Blender have, is get these individual kills, and that just makes Team Blender's job a lot harder, because suddenly that's your Misfortune ult in this Amumu Misfortune ult combo gone.
I mean, you still have a lot of long-range damage between Terraforming, between Dingo. You will be able to pick up this tier 2 in the mid lane. That's pretty good. But you did also lose out tier 1 in the top lane. And mid lane tier 2, very valuable turret, but doesn't give you any extra gold. So actually, I wouldn't be surprised if... it's not going to be a negative Baron power play, but it's
they
not
can
going to
get
be...
the bot tower as well, I think, if they rotate over. But yeah, it's not going to be that massive. Having said that, though, they're sticking around.
Dingo gets caught! Rassen, this is why we love this guy so much. Dingo gets pulled back, auto attack. Rassen deserved that kill. Wizzurd is TPing in behind Mitch, trying to deal with him. Nothing to see, sustaining up. Wizzurd just not enough damage. Rassen kiting for his goddamn life. Pulls back, that's one dead already. Wizzurd, sure to fall as well. Oh my god, Infiniteam does it. They find the fight. Terraforming, likely to fall as well. Gets tagged with the W, and that's all. The Baron's gone, baby. Baron off. Who? I said it wasn't going to be a negative Baron power play, but I think it might just now be. Infiniteam storm the fight.
It certainly is one now. They're going to get that mid-tier 1, possibly even a mid-tier 2 as well. Oh, the Rescue Cat's on their way. But yeah, absolute... just an insane team fight there. Another really good arrow there from Rassen. Just picks off Dingo immediately, and then NothingToSee on that Swain. Again, another example of a player that was so punished up in that top lane, but because they're on that Swain, they just pop the ultimate, and they just kind of survive. And it's so difficult to deal with. Wizzurd has a lot of gold, but the champion just can't deal enough damage, doesn't have the team behind them.
And now,
man, there's just a curve. Like, how does... Look
at the timers. Dragon up in a minute. Thank you, Rassen in chat, doing our work for us. A minute and a half until this dragon spawns, and man, I think it's gonna be... I don't want to say a team that's been ahead the entire game. 2,000 gold in the lead still are in a do or die situation, but if you can't make this dragon happen, if Mitch can find their way and get the steal, if Rassen can hit a miracle arrow onto someone like Angel of Zera, then this really becomes so difficult to play for Team Blender.
Yeah. It certainly does. I'm really glad that Terraforming has picked up that Oblivion Orb as well. I think you did need a little bit more than just the Bramble Vest in order to curb that healing. But
anti-heal, right? This is all base level anti-heal. That's something important to note.
And it's not just Mitch either. It's also NothingToSee is doing a lot of healing in these fights. You've got to deal with Schego as well on 3 items already, only 25 minutes in.
It's going to be a artillery barrage here, I think.
It really is. This is going to be a major fight.
Tilly hits the root. This means there's no follow-up to Amumu Q, which means there's no further engage. There is first move here for Team Blender in this fight. They're all crowding up in this corridor inside the Hallowed Mist. But look, you can just siege on to the tier 2. Mitch gets engaged on dashing away. Angel Zera has the other one. Rassen is in the area. Hands the arrow on to Dingo. Mitch diving forwards. Wizzurd does find the angle onto Rassen. NothingToSee, not hitting anyone. Misfortune dealing so much damage in this fight, but Schego's still alive. They're gonna kill off the top laner. Oh, the Sterex will not keep them alive. Mitch gets the reset. Mitch gets the death stance. A double kill over to Schego, and what was originally a good fight turned onto Rassen, gets turned around there. Zera, Wizzurd will fall, but most importantly, your jungler will fall as this Drake has spawned.
Gotta try and steal this somehow. Terraforming does have the ultimate.
There is only the shockwave, but that's not the Misfortune ult. That's not the Dawning Shadow you really want to see. Can you make the play work? NothingToSee also in the area. Dragon going to be started up. I feel like you have to take this quickly if you're Infiniteam. Dragon members responding in 9 or 8 seconds. Mitch in the area trying to find one onto Terraforming. Can you just burst this down? You do have a lot of damage. You have the might available for Mitch, but they're just too scared to do it. Scared of the damage coming out from Rescue Cat, from Dingo. And the longer they play this, the more time it gives Amumu and the Olaf to make their way back. But Rassen will be here first. Rassen gonna zone off Terraforming. Zones Dingo, lands the slow, doesn't land the arrow. It was zoning. Don't worry about it. The rocket connects. That's a lot of damage, and that's Ocean Soul over to Infiniteam. As Zera looking to the play here, does land no bandage source. Mitch might just end up sacrificing their life, going inside Angel of Zera. Maybe gonna try and find one to rescue Cat at the end, but Wizzurd Swain missed time on that cursed Sand Mummy. Almost picks up the kill, but the shutdown goes over to Wizzurd.
Yeah, but in the end, I mean, massive advantage now for Infiniteam. I just don't. How are you going to take out NothingToSee and Mitch with the power of the Ocean Soul? It's going to be so difficult. They are going to be able to, well, they're at least going to attempt to translate this into a Baron. The smite obviously is gone.
I mean, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
But how much can be found the backside? Rassen landing the slows does stop the back. They are going to pick up this Baron. You know, 2 Barons for an Ocean Soul, maybe not bad of a trade, but we saw how well the previous one went. They have to do a lot more with this second of the game.
The other problem to me is that the only thing that seems to be remaining constant in this game is the fact that the gold lead for Team Blender just doesn't actually cause them to win. They have lost, you know, they've had the gold lead this entire time, but have been losing fights. And I think that, so that means that when I see that there's a, you know, 4K gold lead, especially now with the Ocean Soul online, that doesn't mean all that much to me. And Schego is going to continue.
When Rescue Cat forced to use the cleanse away, Mitch does commit the flash, but nice arrow there as always from Rassen. The flash actually from Mitch is kind of huge, but still nice to get the cleanse off that very vulnerable misfortune.
Yeah, that's always a good one there. And at this point, you can see there the cooldown of Rassen's ultimate is pretty low at this point. He really is going to be able to just fire those out whenever they want. And it's just a constant threat as Terraforming.
Under a little bit of threat themselves. Doesn't have the slow. Mitch dives forwards. Knock up lands. This is going to be one dead Orianna, you have to assume. Shockwave comes through. Schego almost falls for it, but the Ocean Soul will keep them alive. No possibility of dying to minions. Free pick in the top side. That's 1 of 5 Baron buffs already down. Now, you might lose the bot lane tier 1 for this, but that's not that big of a price. It's the tier 1. We are... Oh, it's going to go 40 minutes, isn't it? We're 30 minutes into the game. Those probably should have fallen already, as the rest of Infiniteam just holding here in the mid.
It's fine, because now that IT have the soul, it's surely over for them,
oh,
right?
I can't imagine them being 2 Elder Dragon fights. They're actually looking... Wizzurd just tanking up this turret. Doesn't give a damn. Knows they have team to support them. But NothingToSee in the area. Forced to ghost away Mitch on the flank. Is Spellamine. Arrow connects. He doesn't miss. This time there is no cleanse for Rescue Cat. Still going to be able to run away. Angel and Zera trying to sacrifice themselves. Massive ult from there. NothingToSee drops very low. Mitch though trying to get the damage. This movie is so tanky. Teleport coming through from Schego. This is most of your damage coming out. Tank will fool. Schego going to dash forwards. That's a second Baron buff removed from team... I don't want to call them Team Blunder, man. I don't want to call them Team Blunder. But that's a bit of an overstep there from Team Blender in the bot lane. Second remove. Looking for more. Mitch lands the lockup. Maybe going a little bit too hard. Very tanky. Death stance ticking. Not enough, especially through the Ocean Soul. But yeah, that's one more loss and a push denied.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, a lot of just crazy fighting going on there. The tier 2 did go down in that bot lane. 14 Blender, so that's something. But yeah, certainly I think feeling the pain there. You see there, Mitch. I thought maybe they were going to have him, and then I realized that they hadn't even used the ultimate yet. It really doesn't feel like this Kayn is under any kind of threat of death.
And that was an optimal fight, I feel, for Infinity.
Yeah.
Right? Like, not for Infinity, for
Blender,
Team Blender. Just
there was I think 3-man.
Everyone was hitting
ulti.
the tanks as well.
Yeah, and a pretty big ultimate from Rescue Cat as well, but it still just doesn't quite translate to enough. And this is the power of the Ocean Soul, you know, buff, is that because people are healing through things, you have to deal more damage in order to kill them, and that is really, I think, hampering what Team Blender can manage to do.
I was going to say, when you're behind, they're not even behind, they're still 4,000
not.
gold in the lead, but they are still on the back foot in this game. Obviously, Elder Dragon spawning in a minute and 15 seconds. Can they find the fight? They've done a really good job macro, right? If you see the people losing in fights still ahead in gold, that's because they've just been macroing the map really, really well. Obviously, catching these waves, got like some CS leads across certain places, especially in the top lane. But this Olaf is going to be less useful as the game goes on.
Yeah, and that's that's the Campunk Chainsaw picked up for the Olaf as well. And yeah, I agree that the Olaf isn't having as much of an impact as it really needs to, considering how much gold for the team it's carrying. And that's not entirely, that's not you know, Wizzurd's fault at all. It's just kind of the nature of the champion is that Olaf doesn't really, you know, doesn't have any CC. It's just kind of you know, run at you, sustain, be unstoppable, and hit you. But the problem is that when you're a Kayn that's also sustaining, you're a Swain who can ult, and yes, of course.
Look at the vision towards this dragon spawning up in 18 seconds. Obviously, some of Team Blender are going to walk through, going to be able to clear out a lot of this, actually. A lot of it's red wards. But the flanks are still secure. They are going to be able to push into this flank. Because obviously NothingToSee is not in the area. Teleport, huge flank wall behind the pit. Keep an eye on that Corki area. This is an Elder Dragon. This could be massive for either team if they pick it up here. Flank wall coming through. You're kind of pincered here if you are Team Blender. Ashe Arrow. I can't see, where's it coming through? Doesn't connect on anyone, but the Corki package finds the backline. Terraforming does find a one-man ultimate, but look, it's impossible to play the Ocean Soul. The healing is too much. Zera taken out, 4 dead already. You will end up losing Schego, but it's only Wizzurd alive, and you've got to pull a fancy bloody magic trick to save this fight. 4 for 1 in favor of Infiniteam as they're going to pick up this Elder Drake. I'm sure of it. I don't think Wizzurd's got the steal, and then the smite's there.
Just comes through, steals it. Go on.
Go on, do it.
There's
do
no
it, you
way.
won't. Yeah, it's
do it, you won't. Yeah, this is going to be the Elder Soul, most likely for Infiniteam here. Was just going to try. No, we can't beat the 900.
They're going to move towards the Baron, and the funny thing is, they're not even. They might even be able to continue from this. They do have some gold in their pockets, so they might want to spend actually a lot more with the Baron. But obviously, with the Ocean Soul, if the theft times were a little longer, you could just continue these fights, right? You're going to sustain up so much, and the numbers, man, they're just so in favor of Infiniteam at this point. You're getting an extra 25% health with the Ocean Soul. You're losing 25% health with your with the Elder Soul coming through as well. It's actually so difficult for him to play. It looks like they're trying to contest, though. Rassen has the arrow, has used the arrow actually. Mitch maybe in a little bit of trouble. Angel finds the engage, but not quite enough damage. Schego is there. Flash ult by the Amumu. Schego pops low, taken down. Mitch on the backline. Rescue Cat. No one to save you. NothingToSee in the backline as well. Angel of Zera has fallen. That's 2 down already. Wizzurd down as well. That's 3 people dead. The Baron's going to be taken, and I think this might be game.
Yeah, I agree with that one. It was very ambitious trying to engage into a team with Elder Buff and Ocean Soul. A really nice pick up for Schego there to start it off, but those buffs are just way too much. The rest of the team coming in. Rescue Cat gets solo killed pretty much by Mitch with the help of the Elder.
Okay, and, we're not going to end off quite yet. They're still, but it is worth noting, Team Infiniteam have actually got the gold lead for the first time.
Finally, is that the first time in the game? I think it is, right?
One of the first times, certainly. They've been
other than, you know, maybe a tiny little gold lead right at the beginning of the game. Yeah, I think that is pretty much, yeah, them picking up the gold lead for the first time. Man, yeah, I think with these kind of buffs, you have to be looking for some sort of end, or at the very least, something very, very close to it.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the builds, right, there's so many items you don't really want to have to buy on the side of
Morello.
Morello's, Haxon, Campunk Chainsword, you know, all that stuff. Also, Senna's build, not going to be dealing that much damage, going to be even harder to tear through these targets, right? When you're going Lethality MF, when you're going Moonstone Senna, it just becomes so hard to kill Swain or a Kayn at this point. Arrow does go wide this time. Unfortunate there, Rassen.
Crowny.
But still, able to get some good siege on these turrets. Bot lane Corki is pushing in. Doesn't actually have teleport. Maybe this is the 4v5 you need to look for if you are Team Blender here. Mitch maybe called out. Zera obviously looking for it, but no. Wisely backing off.
The longer they posture here, though, they're just going to lose their bot tier 2. And this is something I was going to bring up earlier, but you have no TPs as Mitch. Okay, no, it's just going to walk away. But yeah,
stopping backs.
Yeah, but yeah, you have no TPs on the side of Team Blender. You have the Ghost instead on Terraforming and Wizzurd, which yeah, at the moment I think that they're feeling the pain of that a little bit. Schego and NothingToSee are moving to those side lanes and then TPing into the plays that and Blender just simply can't do it. And I think as well they've hampered the infinite scaling that Senna has by going for this Moonstone build. I think the Moonstone build is good, but obviously you're not. You are going for a more supportive kind of thing.
I need to ask you as well, who do you think is out-sustaining in the fight? The Ocean Soul, level 17, level 18, Kayn and Swain, or the Moonstone Redemption Senna? I mean, I'm a big fan of the Locket Senna myself personally, more supportive build, but this is just not it in this match.
With you know, tank type runes, or what are you? You going grasp or what's the... No?
Alright, so the idea is you go Ares Senna, right? You're doing a lot of kills, doing a lot of shields. But I don't think it's it this game. You're never going to win the sustained team fight, so I don't know why you're trying.
No, I really would have liked to see something more damagey coming out from Senna. Maybe even, you know, going for that Kraken Slayer when you've already got lethality on Rescue Cat's MF. But instead going for that Moonstone, wants to get that supportive stuff in. But yeah, I think you are, you know, we've said before that you're just lacking damage for Blender, and obviously that is massively to do with the healing that's coming through, especially now with the Ocean Soul. But the fact that your Senna, which is, you know, one of your 2 ADCs, doesn't have that damage build is not
and the other one's
massively
gone
helping.
Full lethality.
Right.
Well, not fully,
and that's the second. Oh, that's the second chainsword. I know. Man.
It is very stat efficient, but you're not using the health and you're not really using the cooldown reduction that much. Still, yeah, you got to try and do something, right? You got to cut down this healing somehow. Meanwhile, Infiniteam picks up this inhibitor turret. I don't know if they'll get the inhib, probably before the Elder Dragon spawns in 1 minute, and I think that could be the last fight of the game.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see a way. You know, Team Blender were losing while they had the gold lead. Now they don't have the gold lead, so it feels. I feel really bad going like, oh yeah, it feels kind of over because you always want to feel like a team has a chance. But right now, the odds are very, very much against Team Blender. It feels like right now.
There is, of course there is also this team fight one-mode combo, right? We have been talking about it. We haven't seen it too much this game. It feels like there's never been an Amumu ult, an Orianna ult, and a MF ult on top of each other. If we see that coming through, that could be stunning for this game, but they're going to actually make it first onto this dragon, spawning up in 13 seconds, but look at the sideways. Double teleports available, Schego and NothingToSee. Maybe they could even look for a cheeky wrap around end. Team
that's sneaky.
Builder trying to get something, but I think you can just walk through mid here. Oh no, this is not good. Teleport coming in here for Schego with the package. Probably can try and make it out. Is actually gonna make it out. Is stunned up. Gonna be taken down though. Wizzurd on a rampage. That's a lot of your damage done, but the Swain makes it so hard to walk in. Rassen is in the fight. NothingToSee healing up. Flash forwards. Mitch trying to save it. Ult goes out, survives so long, he's too tanky. I thought it was doomed, but he's still alive. The Ashe arrow, it looks so good, but it's too dead for the side of Team Blender, and only 1 dead for Infiniteam. And crucially, Mitch lives. Rassen lives. Those are your damage sources in these fights. That's your smite coming up. And look, Terraforming has to reset. Mitch just diving into the backline, trying to buy as much time as possible. Swain in the base. They just want to end it here and now. Mitch will end up falling. Rassen still alive. Tilly's still alive. Can they stop the ports for long enough? Rassen, the Ashe getting chased down a little bit by a Rescue Cat. And look, there is going to be a reset here coming out from Terraforming. Maybe you could have tried to take the Drake, instead of pushing too hard for this Nexus. They are going to get 1 turret. That does make the TP play a little bit easier in the future. But maybe you could have wished they got a little bit more on Infiniteam.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, it's such a shame. That was a really nice catch onto Schego from
they get the Elder Drake
Team Blender. Yeah, they do get the Elder now. You would presume Rassen's going to burn through this pretty quickly, as is Tillynt.
Nothing to see, making sure there's
There
no
are
funny.
three there though.
There are 3, yeah, this could be a steal. No junglers in the area. They do pick up the
Oh,
dragon though.
no.
There's 3 there. That's just 3 more victims. Terraforming sent into their grave. The rest running for their hills. But now it's a 4v4 with once again. Yeah, it's 40-minute game.
Yeah,
40-minute game.
this time, yeah, it's a 42 minutes in, but the Nexus is finally open. That is an Elder Drake on. Unlocked for Infiniteam. You would expect them to just use those buffs to run down the team blender and just take the base. They're going to move towards this bot lane where they have a wave, use that to push in as well. And yeah, a really nice initial engage from Blender. They tried to make the best out of a bad situation, but in the end,
much like Blender the program, they crashed and burned. Not able to make it quite work. Instead, they're just going to end up losing. Final push here. One last defense. Can they do it? They can't even kill the Kayn. Goes inside. That's 1 dead. That's 2 dead. That's all she wrote. The stun comes through. A dead Senna. 4 dead. Rescue cat. No rescuing this one. Infiniteam pick up the dub.
So, what I'd love to see is what the average game time